Before we dive into the world of Stalker 2, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button to stay up to date with the latest gaming news and reviews. And it will, as a seasoned gamer, I've witnessed countless launches of games riddled with bugs and unfulfilled promises. However, the saga of Stalker 2 has been a breath of fresh air in the gaming industry, that GSC, Game World's commitment to addressing issues and bringing the game up to its intended standard has been impressive. The game, titled Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, has garnered significant acclaim, appealing not only to established fans, but also to newcomers. The unique fusion of open world survival horror, a dreamlike storyline, and a living, breathing world has propelled it up the rankings and resulted in impressive sales figures within mere days of its release. Nonetheless, there's been a swell of criticism over its rocky debut. As a devoted fan, I'm disappointed when the much anticipated launch of Stalker 2 was marred by issues that made it difficult for many to fully immerse themselves in the gaming experience. However, I've been consistently impressed by GSC Game World's commitment to fixing bugs and updating the game. Of their tireless efforts have not only won over skeptical fans like myself, but also set a positive example for the entire gaming industry. Stalker 2 was released in a bad state with numerous bugs and broken content on its first day. And the A-Life 2.0 system, one of the game's most anticipated features, didn't seem to live up to expectations. Fans of the Stalker series attributed these issues to the franchise's history of having unpolished releases on day one. For those diving into the Stalker universe for the first time, this level of poor quality was disappointing. It's no secret that Stalker 2 isn't the first game to face challenges during its release. Games like Star Wars Outlaws, Starfield, and Redfall have also had their fair share of issues when they first came out. However, some of these have eventually recovered, albeit after a considerable amount of time, making purchasing them seem less like a gamble. Thankfully, unlike many games in the industry today, Stalker 2 is not sticking to the practice of launching a flawed game and leaving it that way for an extended period. GSC Game World has been diligently working on resolving minor glitches in Stalker 2, and they've also promised solutions for its more significant problems. They've been transparent about the game's state, expressing a strong desire to rectify it swiftly. Stalker 2 doesn't just brush past one gaming trend, but it's heartening to observe that the team at GSC Game World appreciates the significance of delivering the promised player experience from day one. That Stalker 2 has immense potential given its status as a labor of love for the developers and the hurdles they've overcome in its creation. And the sheer dedication shown by the team in addressing issues swiftly is nothing short of incredible. It stands out as the blueprint that upcoming games should emulate. It actually has similar space on designed in a sort of miss. This As games continue to grow in size, these imperfections become increasingly common. Sometimes patches designed to resolve one issue can unintentionally introduce another, leading developers to a seemingly endless cycle of refinement before the game is finally released in a polished state. In an ideal world, developers like CD Projekt Red and Hello Games should emulate GSC Game World's strategy of both swiftly implementing game-altering updates and transparent communication with their audience and media outlets. This approach keeps everyone informed about upcoming changes, sets expectations for fans, and assures potential buyers that their investment won't be in vain. Of course, the situation around day one patches and the months of redemption that are needed for certain AAA games is incredibly nuanced. Not every developer has the resources to produce fixes as quickly as GSC Game World. Some developers may feel like promising fixes before being able to implement them is a risky move, especially if the game doesn't earn enough money to warrant producing them in the first place. Well, GSC Game World is heavily dedicated to the development of Stalker 2. Not every game studio shares this luxury. The challenges faced by Stalker 2 are not as profound as those experienced by games like Cyberpunk 2077 or No Man's Sky. Hence, a complete overhaul isn't necessary. However, making these improvements demands time and effort, which is why even large teams like CD Projekt Red may find it challenging to release them swiftly. It's unreasonable to demand immediate fixes from every game developer as soon as their game launches, considering they aim to avoid unnecessary overtime, also known as crunch. Instead, clearer communication and a guarantee of upcoming patches should be standard practice. It seems this change is already underway with companies like Ubisoft openly discussing changes for titles such as Star Wars Outlaws, and Stalker 2 is following suit, hopefully set a trend for the future of all game developers. And as the gaming industry continues to evolve, it's essential for developers to prioritize transparency and communication with their audience. By doing so, they can set realistic expectations and build trust with their fans. Well, after all, as the saying goes, a bug in the system is like a bullet on a chain. It's only a matter of time before it bites you. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,